Hi everyone, and welcome to this very quick video on how to export your PBR materials from Substance Designer and then use them in Substance Painter. The reason you would use this, I guess, is because you are creating a more complex texture for maybe a character or a vehicle or something like that. And Substance Painter doesn't have the materials that you want, or you need to make custom ones for whatever reason. So yeah, it's kind of a handy workflow, and Substance makes it really easy as well, hopefully, if it goes right. So here's my graph for this dirt ground material. We can kind of see here that it it kind of has like some height to it. It's got a bit of water in it and sticks and stones. And this again is a material from a tutorial I found online. It's really good if you want to look at generating kind of a more complex albedo and dealing with kind of a much more complex height map. So I've got my material output kind of like one of the other videos I did, but we're not actually going to do those. You can compute them if you want the images, but as we're doing substance to substance, what we need to do is we just go over here into the Explorer. So here we have our two graphs, and then we have our package that contains our graphs. And you'll notice that just above it, when I have either of the graphs selected, these two buttons are grayed out, but when I select the package, which contains the entire kind of graph and subgraphs, then these two buttons appear, and it's this one here that we want, the publish selected elements, kind of like the upwards arrow. If we click that, this little thing comes up. Select a space for it, give it a sensible name, and you'll see here that it says a substance archive. So that means that it's got all of the maps in it. Click save, click OK. And then if we switch over to Substance Painter, when it opened up, I just clicked Start Painting. And all we need to do is open our File Explorer, and you can see now that we have this dirt ground substance archive. And I'm just going to drag it into here. First of all, I'm just going to go here because there's less here. It's less confusing. I'm going to drag this, and then I'm going to import the dirt ground substance archive into here. It's going to give me a little pop-up. It's going to say it's undefined. I'm just going to define it as a base material, and I'm going to import it into the current session. And then if we just give it a second, depending on your computer, it'll take a few seconds to load. Don't worry, you haven't lost all the other materials. They're still in the shelf, but it's just kind of highlighting these. And then you can select them and paint directly onto the map or the thing or the shape. I'm just going to switch to the base because I don't want a horrible dirt ground texture on my little, I don't know, it reminds me of the Sackboy from Little Big Planet. And we can see now, I might as well put it on the bottom as well, that we now have our material from Substance Designer working in real time. We can see that it's a PBR material, looking very snazzy. And I also have a twig here because that was another graph inside that, and it kind of lets me just place twigs as like a stamp, and I can do it here as well, like. And that's it. Hopefully that helped. If you have any more questions, then just ask.